Good morning from Kampot. I'm Stu, I'm a backpacker from UK and I am travelling around Southeast Asia. Now yesterday I had a wander around the town to see what Kampot was like, but today I'm heading for the hills and I'm off to see stuff that I've been told is interesting, and let's go and find out where it is. But I've got a bike. It's about an hour's drive away from here, but first of all I want to get some fuel for this bike and then head off. So let's go. So I've just filled up with fuel from the local shop, 3 bottles of whatever it was, and it's just given me a nearly full tank. That cost me 15,000 real. So the idea is, this is the route I'm taking and I'm heading towards Bokor Hill Station. I'll tell you all about it as soon as I get there, but I only stopped here because this is where the famous Kampot night market is, and I'm hoping to be here tonight, which will probably be the next video, because this is where all the locals and all the tourists come, obviously on the night time. But yeah, this is the way I'm going to go, and hopefully I've been told that on the way there's plenty of stuff to see, so well, I'm hoping there is. I've just come off the highway and the first stop, and this is it. What I didn't realise was the place I'm going to is part of the Bucka National Park, which means I think I might have to pay to get in. I'm not too sure. That's interesting. I'm going to the national park. I've come into the sign and nobody's asking for money unless it's further on down. It's just lots of stalls. So I don't know if they're used to tourists coming in. And you got this little chap there. But I've still got about 40 minutes. You can see the clouds up there. So I'm going up the top of a hill. I have been warned by the hostel staff that it's cold up there, which I'm sort of looking forward to be cold for an hour before I go, no, back to the heat. Yeah, time to get on this road. 40 minutes. I've made a stop. I'm 980 meters above sea level. I can already feel a little bit of a chill coming on, and I'm in a car park and I'm heading towards, I've just seen the statue and I went, oh, wow. So the car park, I mean, there's nothing coming up. The national park is just one big forest. I've seen a few monkeys on the way, and this is the first building I've come past. So all these offices are empty. There might have been shops previously. There is a small shop there. And I've just been talking to one of the guys who's just said, oh, there's a path that leads up to this statue. So I'll have a walk up. I'll see you there. That's big. There is no signs in English around here, so I've no idea who she is. But all around you've got animals. Let's have a walk round. You can see the car park down there. See the clouds coming in. So you can see the clouds just going past. Wow. There's a car park down there. There's a few people around here. Right, I need to find who this person is, so I'll have a look at the map. It's still a little bit warm, so although I can feel the breeze, nice chilled, I'm not that cold yet. Right, I've come to the back of the statue just to see if there's anything here. There's not a lot, but according to the map, this is the sitting Lok Yeay Mao statue. And I have no idea who she is. Oh, do look at good statues. It's an excitable rabbit. Although this statue is really interesting, I'm fascinated by these stones. Just piled on top of each other. But I'm going to head up back to the bike and then continue along this road to hopefully the next half hour I'll be there. It's sod's law that as I come down the path, they start playing some music. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I was tempted to go back up and just listen to them. Nah, there may be some more on the way. More music, I mean. I nearly got away. So across the road from the statue is this place here. And there's a little sign in English, thank God. Damnaxla Black Palace was King Sihanouk's residence. It was built by brick and blackwood in 1936. Black Palace. So it's been left to ruins. Can we go in? So this was a palace for a king. Not very big. Obviously the locals come up here. I mean, can't see anything of the view because there's a lot of nature taking over. But there is another sign just there. See what that says? The sign. So we're there, and there is a lot of stuff to go and see around here. But this was built from bricks and blackwood in 1936. The doors and windows are missing, obviously, but the villa is still in good order, and you'll find an amazing view from the cliff behind, as well as beautiful sunsets in the late afternoon. It's a little graffiti. Is that the king? So just a villa for the king. I suppose if he wanted to keep cool away from the heat, this would be perfect for him. There is a path that goes down that way, but I don't know if it goes anywhere. And the map's not saying anything that leads to. So maybe this was the place that the king came to just to chill out. in the cool. Who knows? Another stop, and I've come around the corner and I saw this Bucka Hotel. There's a sign there saying it's a casino as well. I mean, the car park's massive. There's 3 cars there. So I'm going to go and explore. It's definitely a hotel that's open. There's staff around. I mean, there's not many people around with cars. But it's just in the middle of nowhere. Little peacock sticking its head up. Little peacock. But I've just had my head through the door. The security guard over there wasn't too happy with me filming, so, and it looks like it's a functional hotel in the middle of nowhere. Strange. And I'm here. This is what I've come to see, and it is Bokor Hill Station. And this is an old French colonial building built in the 1920s. I've actually got some history in my head about this place. It was built by the colonial French that were based in Kampot for the French military, to get away from the heat down there. It is pretty cool up here, and it's still standing. Now, they take this place quite seriously. They've actually got a guard just there. It's really clean. It's the cleanest I've seen Cambodia. I've actually got bin bags in the bins there. But I'll have a walk around. I'm not too sure if you're allowed to go in. It's quite impressive. Someone selling drinks. So this was a hotel. It's from the front. I mean, this is what it looks like now. In the 1920s, it would have been amazing. Look at that. Now, I don't think you're going to see much of a view. There's a lot of cloud. In fact, there's too much cloud. Wow. So reading this history which I've got from organic maps, the French abandoned this place in the late 1940s when the first Indochina War was happening. Khmer Rouge came along, and years later, when Vietnam attacked Cambodia, and they held onto this place till the early 1990s. But it's just now an abandoned place, and they're keeping it as part of the history just to show you what colonial Cambodia was like. Now, I've seen some of the people over there go inside the building, but I think they're allowed. Oh, look at that. Obviously can't go in. Now, these would have been here in the 1920s, but that pool would have been. Can we have a look in? I look through the window through there, and I don't think I'll be able to show you anything, but it's like a modern dining area of a hotel. Got modern tables, modern chairs. There's a toilet, modern toilet through there. So I don't know if they're going to be redoing this and making it a proper hotel in the future. It's interesting. So in this area at the time, in the 1920s, there was a French post office, which has now been demolished. There is a church just further on down there, which I'm going to have a wander to. There's an open door. Security guards round the corner there, so try not to get caught. Right, not allowed in? Okay, no problem. Thank you. Oops. Nearly got in. Don't leave doors open while I'm around. But I'm going to get back on the bike. It's just through there. If you can see it through the clouds. And head to the church. What I didn't notice as I was driving in was the entrance, which says, get on the screen, Le Bokor Palace. So you could hardly see it in the clouds, can you? Wow. So I see well, I don't know if you can see it because of the clouds, the hotel, and there is a sign saying no entry, but I think that's just for the bikes because there's been a couple of people walk down this way, and the guard didn't seem to mind us coming in, but more buildings. Now that looks like it's been looked after. Wow. It didn't make sense like closing the road off where it just ends here anyway, so people could park up. Yeah, that's been wrecked to pieces. Let's have a look in. There's doors open. Bit of cement. Modern toilet. Kitchen area. Electrics, which I probably don't think work right now. And then you got that place, which is really nice. No smashed windows. I wonder if someone actually lives there. Try to find an open door. There's furniture on that balcony there. All the curtains are closed. And then you've got a garden that looks like it's looked after. Lots of chairs. Chalets. Is this French architect? What is it? Barbecue. Oh, no curtains. There's a plate set. Is it a hotel? Should never leave doors open, especially if I'm around. Now, obviously I don't know if that's alarmed or not, and somebody's going to come driving up to arrest me. There's a spiral staircase in there. I mean, compare the two of them. This one wins hands down as nice. Wow. Imagine the parties they had in there in the 1920s. Woo woo. Further on, you can see another derelict building. Follow that path. I think the cloud's in the way now. Some more derelict buildings. So it looks like there was a big sort of community in this area for the French military to get away from the sun. So I've just ridden the bike a couple of minutes, not that far, down the road, and there it is. That's the colonial Catholic Church. For a Buddhist country, it's quite unusual to have something still standing that's not a Buddhist or Chinese temple. We're going to have a wander up these steps. There it is. Yeah, the clouds make it a bit more spooky. And when you turn around, there's a photo shoot going on of a bride and groom. Wow. Have a wander in. Some steps that go up further. I mean, the first thing I notice is no pews. Hi! So that guy that was just coming through is someone that I met in Korong about 2 weeks ago. So you do bump into other people while backpacking, even when you're solo. That looks like a Christmas tree. Wow. So this would have been built in the same time as the Palace Hotel. And I don't think it's lasted as long. In fact, no, it couldn't have been. There is a sign. Let's have a look at what that says. So there you go, the Catholic Church was built by the French in the early 1920s as part of the French township of Bucka Mountain. So it was built in the 1920s. Now there's nothing on the map to see where this goes, so I'm not going to climb it. So I just asked a guide who, in his best English, explained that the path up there where that wedding photography is going on, I think it's a photo shoot, where that path leads to, and he says it goes to a viewpoint, but unfortunately because of the clouds that we've got around here, you'll see nothing. So It's definitely not worth going up. But there's so many Westerners come up here on mopeds. I've seen loads of them. So they're all obviously come from Kampot. And it is a nice little drive up here. I know it's an hour, but when you're coming up here and you're getting higher, you're getting cooler, which is quite important. The shot of the church. And there's stuff to see on the way up here. So it's worth getting out of the city with a moped. Seeing a little bit of colonial history. Just past the church, which is that way, there's a side road which I've come down on. And I've just seen this thing here. It's Cambodian style building. Now on the map it's got it listed as a hospital. Some chairs out there at the front, and just round the corner there's some washing being hung up. But there is a sign here that says National Protected Area Training Centre. So they must be training the guys to work here. And then on the map again, this is a reservoir. Now it's hard to see in this cloud. Oh, there's another building over there. Oh, can I get to that? So the reservoir does go all the way around, according to the map, around there. There's a guy you can't see just through the other side of the window. That looks like old buildings. I don't know if that is part of the colonial side of the French where they would stay for the soldiers. Little swim in the reservoir every now and again. Obviously I had to come down and have a look at these buildings. I mean, it's been smashed up, all the windows. Oh, there's a building over there. Now because this is a side road, nobody is round here, just me. And is anybody in here? Wow. This is definitely deserted. There's a motorbike helmet there. I have no idea why I'm whispering. It looks like a pushchair down there. Yeah, I'm not too sure if this is colonial. Not even sure if I should be in here or not. The plate. Oh, it's really spooky. Wow. I think I'm going to leave now because I'm getting a bit jittery. Yeah. Time to go. Wow. At least no one's stolen the bike because I've left the keys in it. Well, that's a bit more clearer. Let's have a wander over there. So I've come down just from the buildings there. There's somebody else got a bike down here. I've just seen a little figure in the background over there. But I've had to leave the bike here because this is really hard to get the bike over. So I thought I'd just have a walk down. So you've got various buildings around here. You've got them lot there. You've got something over there and more over there. And as I said, it's just a side path or a side road that I saw. Nobody's coming down here. And if you're going to spend an hour travelling up here, you might as well try and see as much as you can. And if I'm out of breath, it's because I've been trying to move the bike. I got so far and realised that the bike wasn't going to go that much further. It's a case of pushing and pulling. It's all good exercise. Now with this cloud, you can't really see much until you get closer. Yeah, it's been left to rot away. And there's steps. And there's his reservoir there. And when you do come to the reservoir, it's not actually that big. So there's the spooky buildings, as I'll call them now. Just in the background there is the training centre, and then this is just the reservoir here. So maybe this was built just for the colonial French when they were up here. And then you've got a mushroom type structure up there. More buildings up that way. All derelict. Just been walking along path and there's so many derelict buildings. I mean, you've got the mushroom thing up there, but building after building just been left to rot. And they're all in the close proximity to the church and to the Palace Hotel. I mean, the views are amazing now that you can see some of it. But how thriving of a community was it around here with the French? I just find this sort of thing really fascinating. And I hope I'm not boring you with just, oh look, another old building. But this is a part of the history of Cambodia, a part of the history of the colonisation of the French coming over here. As I said, I find it really, really fascinating. Now I try to get up to that building there. Unfortunately, it's got no path, no steps, no nothing, so can't get up. So I saw another couple of people that were coming up here, so they've obviously had the same idea as me. Found a spare road, let's follow it. It's a shame that National Trust doesn't do stuff with this. But I'm now going to go back down this path and get back on the bike. And because it's, oh my god, it's 2:30. Yeah, it's because it's brick. That makes me think it is French. But what do I know? Oh, the clouds lifted a bit, so you've got a bit of a view. You just see the reservoir in the background there. Training centre. And because, like I said, it's 2:30, an hour to get back, maybe stop off a few more places. So I'm going to start going down the hill towards the heat again. It's been nice being in the cold. Start thinking about going back to the hostel. That was a nice little trip down. So I'm halfway back to getting to the hostel. Still a long way to go, and I've seen some Buddhist monks. They waved at me, and some monkeys on the road. Enjoyable, but it has been a good day in total. I thoroughly enjoyed going up there today, and if you've enjoyed it as well, then press that like button, because I'm now gonna put my camera away, head back to the hostel and have a chilled night. But tomorrow I'm gonna have a delve into Kampot. I'm changing hostels, so I'm gonna get closer to the city and see what there's about. But until next time, bye bye for now.